gone past 9. And we did tell you yesterday that we'll be having a conversation today regarding the issues surrounding the gospel music scene, contracts, promises, not meeting up promises, ripping off, and issues surrounding that space. And we do have a guest in the studio. And Ugochukwu, maybe we should introduce our guest.
I think it's better you do that.
Okay, so yes, we have Joseph David. He is a music producer, a gospel music producer, even though I'm just finding out that he has been boxed in the world.
There's more to his producing than just gospel, yeah?
Well, okay, so maybe he's going to start by, because I did say that he doesn't do secular music, and he said he does secular music. So probably he's going to tell us the different dimensions of secular music and how secular is he secular. So good to have you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Okay, so first of all, let's start with the secular very quickly. How secular is your secular?
Okay. People tend to not understand secular music.
Okay.
The kind of secular music I do is another word for it is called mainstream, where they are actually love songs. You could sing to your spouse, that doesn't have those words, the words that are bad words. Let's use the word bad words.
Which one is the words?
Bad words.
He was going for vulgar.
Oh.
Vulgar words, So when you have vulgar words inside, I don't do. I prefer when it's a love song. Those are what I see as secular.
So will you do a song by a Burna Boy?
If it doesn't have a vulgar word in it.
Okay, how about Whiskey? Whiskey, definitely. Okay, yeah, Whiskey. Whiskey have a couple of clean songs. So basically, clean songs, inspirational songs.
So is that because of your personal conviction or because of your faith? What informed that whole decision?
No, it's just my personal conviction. It's not about my faith. It's not about my faith.
Okay.
Okay, so let's now move on to the main thing because we don't have much time. The issues surrounding the record label thing in the gospel music. First of all, how would you describe the gospel music scene in Nigeria very briefly? And how would you describe the treatments by record label owners to their artists in the gospel scene specifically?
Okay, I'll start by saying lots of people have asked me, why don't you want to sign artists? And I tell them there's a lot in signing an artist. You have to handle his wardrobe, handle his clothing, handle his everything that has to do with him. Most record label owners don't have a good understanding of the contract, same way the artist doesn't have. Some of those gospel artists are actually just hungry.
Oh,
they are hungry.
Okay.
Sad truth.
Yeah, okay.
They're hungry. So once you come to me, for instance, and I want to sign you, I tell you, okay, for a start, I'll give you 2 million. Because you have not seen that kind of money before. You'll be like, oh,
in bulk.
Wow. Yes. Oh, wow, that's good. And then I send it to you. And then I give you a contract. Then you don't get to read in detail. You don't have a lawyer who gets to look at the contract, deep looking into the contract. Most people don't do that. There are several clauses around the contract. So because you already have 2 million naira, you'll be like, okay, no problem, you just sign. It's later on, as things begin to unfold, you find out that, I'm supposed to be making money here. Why am I not making money here? And when you try to challenge your boss, he brings the contract and says, this is the contract.
And you signed?
You signed it. By that time, it's already too late. To an extent. If you get a good lawyer, it may not be too late. You can still fight for what you want. For what you have lost. It's still possible. So, like I said, most gospel artists are hungry.
Okay, when you say most gospel artists are hungry, someone might want to now say, but looking at the case of a Messi, looking at the case of I know that you have had a couple of artists, that you've had to work with. And so what is your process like? So for you, like Dr. Roy produced a couple of songs, and he had an interview where he talked about not getting paid, not getting appreciated, being treated badly, even when he had issues of health for his father. He wasn't properly taken care of. I mean, he wasn't shown that level of kindness. I'll put it that way. What is your process for as a producer? Are there laws, or rather, is there a way producers are supposed to handle their relationship with the label, the gospel artist they're working with? Is there a certain kind of agreement, or is it the same contract that an artist signed that he uses to cover his producer? Is that how it works?
That's not how it works. Originally, there's a contract. There's supposed to be a contract between the producer and the artist. I have some contract documents.
Between the producer, the artist, not the
Yes,
record label?
Not the record label. The producer, it now depends if the artist is under a record label. So you're supposed to have a deal with the record label as a producer.
Okay.
I will not work. Let me use, for example, me and a record label. I will not do a job for a record label if I'm not going to be recognized, if credit is not going to be given to me. That's one. Secondly, if I'm not going to be part of the royalty list.
Okay.
Because definitely the song, whether it blows or it doesn't, royalties will always come. One of the issues or one of the problems most producers have is from the start, when the artist or the record label comes to meet you, probably because of the big name, you are already, or maybe the artist is even just an upcoming artist. From the start, I tell you, this is my price, pay me. I collect my money. Whatever
Blow and no
royalty,
blow.
whether you blow, whether you don't blow, it's your business. So I don't have to come in the future and start telling you, you didn't pay me. No. I don't have time for all that. So if I'm going to work for you, do your job, and I tell you your fee is 500, you pay your 500. Whatever royalty you want to get, it's your business. And that's the mistake most producers make, both gospel, both secular and secular. That's the mistake they make. You did not have any prior document or contract with the client that, okay, whatever thing comes out of this is my percentage. Now, because you think the person has blown, then you are now trying to say, I'm the one that produced the song, but no royalty is coming out of it. There was no contract to that. If you try that with me as an artist, you are my producer and you try that, I will sue you.
All right, I hear you on what you say about exploitation of artists, and it's something that cuts across board, whether it's gospel or secular.
Yeah.
But you know how it is that people view secular music, rather gospel music, in a particular kind of way. Some people would not rate gospel music on the same level, as secular music because of the people who are involved, the kind of events that they go to, the lyrics in their songs, who they sing to. Some of them would even tell you they are not artists, they are ministers. So you would expect that there would be some level of integrity, there will be some level of fairness in terms of the sharing formula of whatever comes from the songs between the producer and the artist. But even in the gospel arena, as it were, where we're expecting people to behave like the man up there, we still have all of those shenanigans and people trying to cut corners, people trying to exploit people. Doesn't that look wrong?
Yes, it's very wrong. I heard a story recently of a big artist in this town and his producer. And it was actually after the producer had an accident, a very terrible accident. That was when the guy was able to even send him some money, about 3 million naira. He hasn't been paying him all the while they have been working. And I asked myself, I say, in the first place, why did you start working with him without being paid? I wouldn't do that. I don't care who you are. It's your business. You're a minister. You pay me my money. Let's do work. I'm first a businessman before you bring in the faith thing. Let's leave the faith.
But
Let's
how
turn
many
our
gospel
business.
artists see this as a business?
That's also
before even the
another
faith
part
thing?
of it.
Yes,
Because
most
a
of
lot of
them-
people will tell you, oh, they are singing for
For God.
It's for the kingdom.
Yes.
No problem. You can find God to produce for you. I wouldn't do that. It's simple. I have bills to pay.
Oh my
Most
goodness.
times, like I said initially, most times, both the producer, the upcoming artist, and the producer, most people are actually hungry. And I can understand from that aspect. But I can't be that hungry to want to produce for you for free. I've had experience with 1 or 2 artists before. And I told myself, I don't care who you are. If you want me to do your song, pay me and I work for you. If you don't pay me, don't bother. I have other activities running. Most times, most of these producers don't have any other thing apart from production.
Okay.
So that's what makes some of them to want to say, okay, they just believe this person is going to blow. Okay, maybe when he blows,
You
there'll be
see,
something
that's
coming
it.
out
So,
of it.
because a lot of our people, maybe when the person came to you, he's still upcoming, like you
Yes.
said, he's hungry, but you see potential. You see that this person has what it takes. He could be big. So at that stage, there's nothing signed. There's no contract. In
No
fact,
contract.
you even do it for free.
For free.
But eventually, this person blows up, and you're expecting that. Common sense should tell this person that
Come back.
look back. Who are the people that helped you to even get to this point? Bring them in and officially.
Appreciate them.
Do you
and
get what I mean?
relax.
That's why the gospel guys don't stay up there for too long. That's the reason.
So isn't it
Because
weird?
they get to forget those that help them from the root.
But isn't it weird that gospel comes from, Christ-like, God and the rest. But isn't it weird that the gospel, the activities in the gospel fold, it is so far away from the dictates and precepts of the Bible?
There has been a fight about whether to be paid as a gospel minister or not to be paid. And I've had to work with quite a number of pastors. Some pastors will be like, oh, no, you shouldn't. Why is it not for God you're doing it? I don't have a problem. If I want to do for God, I can do for God. But what happens to my band guys? They have to eat. We have rehearsals. They have a couple of other things that
They have family.
They have family. They have things to handle. Their skills, they work on their skills on a daily basis. They have materials they have to buy. These materials are expensive. Are you now saying you want me to come to your place, finish ministering, and then there's nothing to even appreciate them? If I was working in oil and gas and also running that, I wouldn't even want to bother the church to pay me. If you do, fine. If you don't, I just tell my guys, this is it. This is what I'm offering you guys. There are ministers in this town who pay their guys heavily. And when those guys speak with other people, the other guys are jealous because they
don't have it that good.
They don't have it that good. They don't have it that good. Imagine going with a gospel artist to like 5 shows and you're being paid 10,000 naira. Or
They wouldn't call it
50,000
shows
naira.
though. Programs.
Programs. And then you are paid 50,000. You flew to maybe 2-3 straight states. Some don't even fly their guys.
They go by road.
They go by road. You fly.
Wow.
I have never played for any gospel artist. It's not because I don't want to. It's because I feel you're not going to treat me nice. And I have my terms. This is how I want you to treat me. If you can't treat me that way, don't bother. If you're flying, I'm flying. If you're flying and I'm going by road, sorry.
So let me bring you back. If we're having all of this outburst from artists who were signed on the gospel music labels, and they are always coming out to say, oh, they weren't treated nice. And if we properly analyze the situation, it's only because you as an artist did not do your homework to, sign the necessary documents. Is it still okay for us to keep blaming the producers or the record labels, rather?
No. I said it initially. I said the problem
because it's now forming a narrative as if we can't have honest gospel labels.
For the gospel labels, that's a large story because some of them are actually fraudulent.
Touch it a bit. Just open it up a bit.
Some of them are actually fraudulent. I can't sign a contract with the label and then whatever comes out from my work, from my creativity, is supposed to be posted on the label page, not the boss's page. I don't know if you get my point. This is Rapid TV. This is Ugochukwu. I am signed under Rapid TV, not under Ugochukwu. You shouldn't put my stuff under your page. And there's nothing under my page. I don't know if you get my point. It should be in Rapid TV. I signed a deal with Rapid TV, not with Ugochukwu. But lots of them put it under
boss's page.
So there's a forever cashing out. Yes, even if it's under Rapid TV, I should also be allowed to put it under my page. Why? I didn't sign a forever contract with Rapid TV. 3, 4, 5 years, I'll be done. What happens to my job under the TV? There's a very popular secular artist. He used to be under Sony. When his contract was done and he was leaving Sony, he called his lawyer, and his lawyer said they have to move all his work to his page and take it out, take them down from Sony.
Was that part of the agreement?
Yes, it was on the agreement. And they moved it. Because if they don't move it,
he won't have rights to his work.
He doesn't have right to his work. The rights the producers are fighting for, you didn't sign that right from the beginning. What are you fighting for? Because the person now is out there now. You are now shouting. They didn't take care of you. They didn't do this one. Using SM7B, let me use, one of my friends says that's the tag now, SM7B. Once you have SM7B, you can say whatever you want to say. It's a microphone. So you can say whatever you want to say. So everybody just has SM7B and they're saying whatever they want to say. You didn't have that contract with the person. You should just be quiet. They didn't help you.
Are you saying that the emotional outburst, of Dr. Roy, many people were moved by the tears and everything. So are you now saying that he does not, no matter how cry me a river, he's not going to be able to fight for what he's talking about?
He's not going to win the case. That's the truth. It may be difficult for him to win the case. There's no prior contract to that. If we have to go by the law, the label or whoever is fighting will win. Because there's no prior signing of anything to that. You were just producing songs. Apparently, if you have to dig deep, you find out that probably they would have even sorted him out at some point. Do you get? There are some times...
Maybe he was using the label's equipment to even produce those songs.
That's another possibility.
Even if he was using the equipment, there should be an arranged amount of money for your work.
There's a part of producer to artist contract that is called creativity.
Okay.
I bring the idea of the beat. You bring the song and partly the idea. I have the right to the beat.
Okay.
So I can take my beats anytime I want it. When you upload songs on iTunes and the rest of them, they have all those clauses inside. But most people don't know. That's why you can't upload some songs that are not original on some platforms, because the back end guys know that this song is not original. So he would have just gingerly say, sorry, my father is sick and this one, and let's talk about the thing outside, instead of bringing it to the open.
Yeah.
Because lots of people who know about this contract thing will just be laughing at him. I have documents on producer artist contract. Don't bother yourself. Plenty artists are not ready to sign it. Gospel artists, they will not work with it.
Why? Because they just want to be giving money and let's start working, let's start
yes,
blowing.
they just want to, let's just work. Contract, they will leave you. The artist will go and find another producer who is ready to work. So why not just collect your money from the beginning? Your fee is 500. Pay. You pay. You deliver your job. Good.
However the song wants to do.
It's your business.
Yeah.
What I advise is take pictures. Do videos while you're working, doing that job. Whenever it blows, push it out. Put your stuff out.
You say, let me do this thing.
Yes. Put it out. So
this is now your personal hustle. Has nothing to do with anyone.
Nothing to do with anybody. It's your personal hustle. You do your thing, and nobody is going to.
So people can come to you and say, you was it that did that song some time back? Okay.
But this whole issue of artists, producers coming out to call out gospel labels, I feel like it needs to be addressed. Because usually when they do that, the gospel labels, music labels, come out with a response of, nobody even knew you. You were a nobody before we picked you up. Yeah. I mean, there was this issue about, I don't know if you heard the story of this very young guy, was picked up at the same record label. And then when he pulled out, there was this whole talk about, we brought your whole family from where they were staying to Lagos. We paid for this, we paid for that. We enrolled your siblings in school, blah, 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 blah. Like, so with all of that whole thing that gospel labels think about basically lifting those artists up from whatever dungeon to now place them on the height where everyone can see. Shouldn't that inform the artist being more careful with their relationship with these people, since nobody would have even known of you if not for these people? So I feel like because of that whole thing, when it comes to a situation where maybe you've been angered or you feel mistreated, I feel like, don't you think they should handle it better instead of coming on podcast? Mercy, even at the time, was making some comments at a concert, and then she received a lot of backlash. Do you think they could handle those situations better instead of coming on social media to rant or call out the gospel labels that brought them to limelight?
Yeah, my own idea is you can speak with these people. It's a very simple thing. You can speak with this label. When you were enjoying the money, you did not know.
It's only that now you realize you could have made more.
No, if you want to say you move this person's family away from the dungeon to VI, to Banana Island, you move, your clothes changed, your dressing changed. You used to be very ugly.
You had more followers.
Oh my God!
And then you are now saying they have eaten you. Did you not use your head when they were moving you to this place? You think all those money they were spending, they picked them from the floor? They didn't. They didn't pick those money from the floor. In your own way, you should have told them, hey, don't worry. From my own percentage, I will do. I don't know if you get the point. So that you can have what to say.
But then again, if we were to go by this, isn't it just better? I mean, there has to be a difference between the secular music. We can't be having the same issues that the secular guys face and complain about still happening in the gospel. So isn't it better? Isn't it honorable for you to say, okay, in black and white, like they'll say, officers don't speak in words, right? Put it in black and white or in blue and white, and you say, okay, we're taking care of your welfare, taking care of your clothing, taking care of your logistics of this. All of this is still part of your money, and you're going to work for this money. Put it in black and white. In
some of the cases, they have that in the contract. But either of the party didn't take note of that. It's worse in the gospel industry than the secular industry. I can tell you for a fact. It's worse. Because at the end of the day, the gospel people want to say, it's for the Lord, and then you're trying to bring in all those religious things. Religion is a big problem for the gospel guys. It's a big problem. And most people have used that to cage a lot of people and a lot of things. In the secular industry, I have this contract, like a very big record label, was like, when he started signing people, he's the one that used to go for those events. But when he started signing people, as they invite him for this event, my fee is 10 million. Then he calls this guy, all of them are under him. You will do 3 minutes. You will do 2 minutes. You will do 5 minutes. Before you know, the 30 minutes they give him is done. From the 10 million, they get back. They say, man, the show was nice. Take your own share. They didn't pay those guys. They paid him. The events people paid him. He just brought these guys in because he's trying to showcase these guys. It doesn't happen in the gospel industry. It doesn't. Akporo made that comment in one of the events last year. That's the truth.
But I've seen Moses Bliss do that a couple of times.
No. No. I don't know where you saw it. Maybe it was one of the recordings. Maybe it was one of his recordings.
Yeah.
Yes, you would have seen that.
No, I have seen a live program, where Moses was ministering. I think he was even done with his time, and then he sought permission on stage from the pastor in charge. And was like, he brought somebody that he's about to be a blessing to God's people, blah, 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 and then invited someone on stage.
Should he have done that after his own time?
And that was even the problem. Most people were complaining about that particular event you're talking about was so controversial because a lot of people felt like the names that they said, we've been seeing those same names every year of that program. So isn't it time? And every year we have new set of gospel artists coming up. But then again, we keep seeing the same faces almost every time circulating. Meanwhile, there are so many great guys that can move mountains with they start to minister.
Yes.
And so people felt like that guy that was called on stage was more like an afterthought.
Yes. That's it for me. It shouldn't be. If you're given 10 minutes, there's nothing wrong in you saying, come and do 3 minutes. That's why there's no, what's the word now? There's no, continuity in the gospel industry. Once this guy fades out, that's all. There's nobody
that he hold by the hand to say, okay,
he was able to carry up. There's nobody. If you check the secular industry, Don Jazzy today has a lot of protege, a lot. In fact, the recent one is that he doesn't even really produce at the moment because he has a lot of producers. But he's only at the label. You will still hear his name inside. Anyhow.
Even Olamide, like he has
he
always.
But it doesn't happen with the gospel guys. You just want to be there alone. Once your time finishes, that's all.
You go for retirement.
We don't get to hear about you. We don't get to know anybody who does something close to what you do. And that's all for the gospel, for your side. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that. As I said, it's worse in the gospel industry than in the secular industry.
Is this a case of jealousy, or is it a case of I don't want somebody to outshine me?
I don't want to make you pass me. Is the problem.
Okay. Anyway.
quite a lot of pill to swallow this morning.
Okay. First of all, thank you so much for finding our time from your very busy schedule to be here this morning to have this conversation with us. We do hope that one of these days
more developments unfold.
No, we will not bring you on set. We will record you so you can fully express yourself in the best way possible. And we'll ask some very, very intricate questions. All right, thank you so much, yourself, for coming on the show.
Thank you.
All right, so guys, we're going on a very short break, and when we come back, we'll wrap it down for now. Ogochukwu, what do you think?
Let's do that very quickly.
Okay, welcome back. And this is how much we can take on the show this beautiful morning. Thank you for staying with us from 7 till this time. I really had fun, and I'm sure Okochukwu had fun himself. Cynthia Agbo is my name. Don't forget that you can follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook and on Instagram. And you can visit our website on
www.arabianradiotv.com.
From me to you, try as much as possible to stay alive. Kisses.
All right, Okochukwu Mantimere is my name. Adios.